annually in the year 1951. Since then, without any break, every year we are meeting on the invitation of the state governments, and this is the 71st National Town and Country Planners Conference on the theme Challenges of Urban and Regional Planning Towards Sustainable Development. Earlier, last year, we met in the Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, and that was a grand success, that particular conference. After that, we have received the invitation from the Bhubaneswar and also from the Lucknow. Lucknow has been bidding this particular conference for last 3 to 5 years, but they could not get the conference. This time, Dr. LP has requested there and made it a point that he must get it, and we have really agreed in spite of the fact that it was supposed to be held at the Lucknow. And this is required that Mr. LP Patnaik should give the party, because when he approached to us, he was not doctor, but this time he became the doctor. So double party is due from you, LP. So kindly keep it in the mind. Okay, the next one is that this particular conference, 71st, was discussed in the 4 sub-themes. The first sub-theme was small and medium towns, new drivers of the development. It is not that the new small and medium towns are being discussed first time in our conference. It has been discussed in the year 1966 also, when there was a scheme of the small and medium towns IDSMT. I visited at that time because I was implementing that scheme under the central sector, being the chief planner at that time, and I came so many times to the Odisha also for the implementation of this particular scheme. Now again, the small and medium towns are coming in the limelight, and specifically there is a requirement that this scheme should again be started, and perhaps the government is very seriously thinking to start this particular scheme. The second sub-theme of this conference was reforms in urban governance. A senior most IAS officer from the Maharashtra, Mr. what is his name, Ramnath Jha, he came over here and made a very laborious and very long presentation, and the recommendations which have been arrived are based on his particular presentation. In addition to that, Professor K.K. Pandey from the Indian Institute of Public Administration, he has also given the presentation. He is specifically the expert in the economics, and he has also made the presentation on the governance as per the Indian towns and cities are concerned. So he has also contributed on the recommendations as per the reforms in the urban governance is concerned. The third one is the innovative approach to the planning, and this session has taken place today. This session was totally based on the National Education Policy 2020, which is in the making and which is being implemented most probably very shortly. And we have discussed this particular National Education Policy 2020 in a threadbare, reason being that is going to have a very major impact as far as the town and country planning education is concerned. On this particular subject, yesterday we also had the annual general meeting of all our members, and they have also given their recommendations, and we are finalizing the recommendations, and ultimately these recommendations are going to be present to the Ministry of Education and Honorable Minister also for their consideration, because the impact is very vast, and it is not for the one-time impact, but the long impact this particular education policy will have in the town and country planning education. So all the members are very serious. They have applied their mind, they have applied their thoughts and given the recommendations also. Next sub-theme was on the experience of the Smart Cities Mission in Odisha. Specifically, we have kept this particular scheme because the Smart City Mission scheme is being implemented. There were the views from the academicians and the professionals also that there is no common definition as per the smart cities are concerned, and some of the educationists have specifically underlined that when there is no agreement what should constitute a smart city, and then why this particular scheme is being implemented. But then this is the scheme of the government. We are implementing that. It is providing the incentives for the development of the towns and making the town smart, and that is what the specific objective of that particular scheme is, and that is what it is being implemented. Well, I have got my own opinion and thoughts also. Supposing I am a sick person, I am taking the example of town, and if you give me a very designed specifically smart shirt, my body is not going to become a smart unless and until the whole town approach is followed, unless and until whole body checkup is followed, the town cannot become the smart. But that is what the scheme is, and let us really implement that scheme in the spirit it has been conceived. So all these recommendations have arrived after the threadbare discussions of the experts, members, and delegates and participants, and this recommendations which has been read by Mr. Milind Patil has been adopted after that. Now, here is a time to really think in terms of implementing these recommendations. So definitely once we finalize this recommendation, it will be sent to the Ministry of Urban Affairs and Housing, Government of India, and all other stakeholders also, as said by Mr. Milind Patil. Now it is a time that all the members kindly concentrate as per as achieving our targets, objectives, and aims as per as the Institute of Town Planners India is concerned. There is a proverb in Hindi, जीवन के सफर में मिलते राही बिछड़ जाने को, but I would like to slightly change it. जीवन के सफर में ITPI के members मिलते हैं with a promise that we'll make next year in some of the conferences of the Institute of Town Planners India. So we'll again meet with a promise from my side that we are going to meet on the 72nd National Town and Country Planners Conference, which will be held next year, almost in the month of the January. So I request all the honorable members to kindly participate actively in this particular conference also. Gentlemen, excellent things are also supposed to come to an end. Last 3 days, we have been discussing, we have been talking not only on the technical matters, but in the other matters also, in lighter terms, serious terms also. And excellent arrangements have been done by the Dr. L.P. Patnaik and his team. Kindly give a big hand to them. Really, we are overwhelmed, Dr. LP, for your arrangement and all the time you are devoted for the success of this particular conference. We are really grateful to you, and from each member and from the bottom of my heart, once again I congratulate you for the successful conference, 71st National Town and Country Planners Conference, successfully organized. And then, gentlemen, here is a time to give the vote of thanks, and then, Madam, kindly request the person who is assigned this particular task.